so at least. Is the screen working? I don't know. Most of you probably wanted a what if, but I will maybe make a what if. I just didn't really feel like it, I guess. I wanted to have a bit more time to get ideas for it, so I doesn't seem to be working. The screen. But why is it working? Okay. Just wait a sec. I'm kind of like trying to get the game working. Is it working now? Doesn't seem like it. Alright. Sorry, I can't play that game again. Alright then. Then I guess we just go to Minecraft, I guess, again. I kinda want to do something else, but it doesn't seem to work at all. I don't know why, but you know what? I'll just make the I'm just gonna change the sorry, I'm just changing the title to the next what if, because apparently I can't do it yet. Okay. It isn't really a gaming. I tried to do gaming, but it doesn't seem like I can do it yet. So where is it? Doesn't seem like this works. Alright then. I'm sorry. I'll just begin the what if, I guess. Now, that's where I left off, where I was at Sans being I guess, kidnapped, I guess, from the some of the 1A's students. So, yeah. No. There we go. No. Like I said, last we left off was at Sans, and Sans was kidnapped, and when he was kidnapped, or knocked out, he was taken by some of the 1A students, and he was um, tied up in a place, and that's where I think I left off. So, when he was knocked out, he kind of like, I guess, when he woke up, the ones who were there, began to beat him up, stuff like that. Not like severely like it would kill him, but I'm still beating him up. So, and after what for an hour or so, Sans kind of snaps, begins to snap, which is this. He turns to this, and when he turns into like his insane mode, he begins to put those the bone you see in the picture. He begins to like put those all around the other students or his classmates' throats, and he is about to snap to make them go right into their necks. But then Azawa comes in and says, "Don't do it." So, when he said that, when Sans heard his voice, he heard a familiar voice, a kind voice, which he, of course, stops but still holds his finger ready to snap them. But then Azawa comes and begins to hug him. Yes, begins to hug Zuko for about a minute or two, a few minutes, and Sans begins to calm down. And then he becomes his old self again. Or, yeah, his old self again. And when he's his old self, Sans, he passes out. Yeah. And Azawa says to all of the students who helped, he says to them that they are in big trouble, and to get out of here and into this classroom, think about what they did. Now, all of them don't know why Azawa is helping him, because they think that he is a traitor because of the video. I think I said last time, probably. Okay, just and of course he does this. Yeah. He. Oh, my mind went blank. Oh. And a few 1 hour later, Sans wakes up and he still remembers everything, and he says to Zawa when he wakes up that he is to recovery girl to say to everyone that he leaves. He doesn't want to be here anymore. And the recovery girl understands. She understands why, so she doesn't stop him. And he goes. Just goes outside and don't talk to anyone. Though it doesn't look at anyone or anything. And yeah. Now when this happens, Sans has already gone, and when Zawa and Nezu and a few others come and see how Azuka's doing, they see him gone. Some of them begin to cry, and Zawa asked where Recovery Girl is. No, asked Recovery Girl where Sans is. And she says he left. He said he didn't want to be here anymore. So he left. And he said, and then, of course, he becomes he becomes sad. So yeah. Now we go to the bad senses, or the gang. These people. Other than Dust, of course, but the four of them: Nightmare, Killer, Horror, and Error. We go to them. Now they see this and they become very angry, and they want to basically kill him. But of course, they don't fully. They can't yet, because it will destroy the timeline, or yeah. Now, of course, but they will soon come to Dust again. But yeah. Now we go to Sans again. He was walking around the town, kind of like thinking to himself, like, why did this happen, and stuff like that. And well, he begins to get more angrier and begin to lose himself again, because he got betrayed by his friends, or what he thought was his friends. And so he begins to become more and more gone, you could say. But of course, he begins to walk towards the forest, and he begins to slowly but carefully, he begins to transform to his skeleton form. Now it's this form, and he basically looks just like this picture. He has his hood up, he's crying, he basically what you see in this picture. And he began when he walks to the forest. Now we go back to the bad senses, and now is the time I introduce the ship, or the person who is the ship. That is Dustfell Sans. Now I couldn't find a female picture of Dustfell Sans, so I could just find this picture, and I'm going to say again, this ain't my picture. And this was the best picture I could find. I'm sorry. Just picture it for yourself that it's a girl, not like this, because I couldn't find, literally, it's not a single picture of a female Dustfell Sands. So I don't even think there's a female Sans even. I'm gonna just check. Oh, there is actually. Well, not very. I see a kind of fell human that are like these are. Oh, gee. Oh. Oh. Lots of these are human versions, it seems like. A few of them actually. But, oh, no. Don't want to see that. Just closing that tab, window. But yeah. And she, basically is very angry and can't take, like, it anymore. So, she goes to Sans. Does Sans. But the rest of the gang says no, of course, to stop her. To stop because it would destroy the timeline and disrupt the timeline. Because he isn't done yet. Because I'm gonna say as well, like in this AO, when like a timeline is done, they get like teleported into the anti-void, and it's when the timeline is completed. Like when Dust fell, Dust Sans killed everyone the first time he met. He was transported into the anti-void, but the classic Sans never goes there, because he's just on repeat all the time. So yeah. Now, of course, Dustfell Sans goes to Dust, and when they see each other, they hug each other, and they begin to cry and tell each other how it's been, and her and Dustfell begins to cry and stuff like that. It gave me a female name for Dustfell Sans. A female name for like a female version of Sans. I don't know if Sans is a male name. Really, I don't know. But if there is like a female version of her the name Sans, tell me, because then it's a bit easier to like talk about it. Okay. Oh. But yeah. And Dustfells basically takes him with her to the anti-void where the bad senses are, or gang. I'll call them the gang. And this, what if? Because of they aren't really like the bad senses in this, so yeah. Now, when Error and Horror and Nightmare and Killer goes to hug Dust, they hug him. They, I guess, cry a bit. Not very, or Error and Nightmare doesn't really cry. They just are happy, I guess you could say. Well, yeah. And they begin to talk like how everything's been, and of course they talk about how they've been and stuff like that. And then Dust asked the gang about their star senses. And that's when they kind of look down and stuff like that. And this is where I'm gonna explain why the star senses are the evil one or the bad guys, and bad senses are the good guys, you could say. And the reason is because in this AU, or yeah, in this AU, they make AUs just to make them. They want to continue making them, but it hurting the classic because the more AUs of there is, the more unstable the multiverse gets. So because they're constantly making more AUs, it's getting more and more harder and difficult for Sans the classic to be sane and continue being Sans the classic. And the more it becomes new dusts, new versions of dust very often, and horror and killer and error and Geno. That's why there are always coming new ones. But the bad senses destroy AUs because to try to keep the level of AUs at a minimal or to a normal. And that's why but the star senses have kind of like I guess you could say, what's the word again? I don't remember the word, but yeah. Now they blank again. They continue to talk stuff like that, and I'm gonna say that in the anti-void or the multiverse is much faster than in the like AUs and stuff like that. So you can be like 5 years in the anti-void, and it would be 5 hours in an AU. So yeah. And of course they do this. And I'm just gonna say before I continue this, before I continue doing the rest of the what if, I will not make this an hour, just because I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm kind of hungry, and I have to get ready for dinner. So I don't know how much longer, but I have to eat something soon, and I don't really feel like doing an hour doing this. So yeah. Now they do this, of course. They talk. Yeah, like I said, blank. But I guess we go to I guess we time skip. And about this time, Dust Fell, Sans, and Dust Sans has already gotten together. That's where the ship mostly is where the part where the most thing you will see as they are as a ship that they just get together, because like I said, I'm not good with ships. That's why I don't really like to do ships, even though I have done it to literally every single one of my whips. But the next one, the Naruto one, I don't think I will do a ship. But if you really want me to do a ship, I'll try to make a ship. But most likely not a ship, because like I said, as you can see, I'm the worst at making ships and doing them. Yeah. Now, and Dust Sans thinks about going back, or actually, it's a time skip, and how long? It's been about 1 year. So in the original or AUs, it's been 20 hours. I know it's not that long, but long for Dust and the gang. And they've been constantly trying to destroy AUs all the time just to keep the balance. But the Star Senses are constantly making new ones, so they he can't really keep up. So they begin to go around other AUs, like, kind of like this. They go to around other AUs to try and get them on their team and to destroy more AUs so that they can help, so that the balance can be stored. And they have gotten a few people, I don't really know who, but a few. That's when they go to someone named Error 404. Now, if you don't know who Error 404 is, I don't know his backstory or anything, I just know he's a character in an AU. I think an AU of Error, and that's all I know, so I don't really know his backstory or anything, but yeah. And now, they ask him to help them to destroy AUs to keep the balance, and he says, well, there's fairly chaos in the multiverse, and it's been making too many. Told them to not make that much at the time. So just maybe make one per year. That's all. It's making them constantly. Alright, I'll help you to bring him down and to stop the mass production of AUs and to destroy some of them. And if you wonder, and then Error asked Error 404, what does he mean by that he promised to do one AU per year? And then Error 404 says, well, yes, you should know this, but or all of you, I guess you should know this. Well, the universe needs to, or the multiverse always needs to have more AUs, but also less. It cannot go over the boundaries like it is now, but also cannot go below, because then it will, or it can go below, that's fine, but it cannot go above, and it always has to be created. Something always has to be created, or else it will destroy literally everything, every single AU, other than the classic, because the original. But I said to him, Ink, that he could just make one AU per year, though that you didn't have to destroy as many, just destroy a few, because it always has to be destroyed. It always, multiverse, and universe always have to be rebuilt and restored and destroyed every single time, or else it will destroy everything. So that is why I gave him the power of, or not, I didn't give him the power of making AUs, but I gave him the idea, because he could literally create anything. So I gave him the idea, and we made an agreement. But he broke that agreement, so now he will pay for he will pay the consequences of breaking a deal with me. Now, and they're baffled about this, like, Error understands pretty much easier than others, but he still doesn't fully understand everything, but he just understands more than others about how the universe stuff and all multiverse destruction and stuff like that. He understands that a bit more than others. And they, of course, continue, and with Erasen's help, they begin to gradually get numbers down, little by little. And that's when they are gonna fight. I think I'll do the fight scene, or the fight, and a bit more, and then I'll end the stream here, because of just because I don't really feel like continuing, because I kind of want to have more time to make more IDs for it. So, guess remember. But also next time I will make the Naruto one. Oh, off topic again. Sorry. The fight scene. They go to an AU to AU to an A to. Oh Jesus! To an AU to destroy it, to help restore peace. But they meet Ink, and basically everyone here. They meet them. Now, Ink is most of the only one looking like this in this picture. The others are looking the same as originals. So yeah. Now, and the others like Dream and Blue or whatever it's called is tricked into believing that they are doing the right thing from Dream. No, from Ink, I mean. And they believe him fully because he saved them multiple times to get their trust. And, well, yeah. And, they begin to fight. I won't do like a giant fight scene, but yeah, they fight. They get damaged. In the end, Star Sans loses and begins to retreat because of error 404. So, when they are happy and they destroy they fought in, because it's literally destroyed everything there is destroyed. There's no monsters, there's no. I guess the Sans there was helping. Yeah, not helping. I don't know what he was doing. Let's just say it was a random AU that no one knows about or no one really cares about. I don't know. You imagine the AU, and you imagine what side the Sans in that AU was on, because they aren't important, because their AU is it's gonna destroy you either way. Now that AU is destroyed, and they leave. Good. Oh, and continue destroying like they some AUs. After a while, Sans and Dust Fell Sans, the other in the gang are tired and they want to have a break. So they sit down and begin to have a break, like in the anti-void, and that's when Dust thinks about going back to his AU. So he says to the gang that he wants to go to his AU to see what's been happening, and they hesitantly agree. So he goes to his AU, and he sees when he goes to his AU, he is on top, like he's in the forest. He doesn't seem like anything is wrong or anything's different, so he begins to walk to the town. When he's in the town, he sees a man with a mask on, laughing and destroying buildings and people, and he sees heroes dying left and right. He sees civilians on the ground. He sees villains all over the place, and he is in shock. He begins to get angry. That's where I'm gonna leave it off. I hope you enjoyed this, I guess, surprise stream. It seems that nobody really watched the stream while I was live, but remember to try at least come while I'm live, because then you can directly tell me stuff and I can change things directly right away. But yeah, that's it for this stream and what if part, I guess. Um, if you want me to continue like doing my what ifs in the stream, I'll do that. But then I have to do like a bit more preparations and stuff like that, and like have to have a better time frame or time I can do it stream because of, and I'm just saying I'm done with it. What if I won't continue it to the rest of the day? That will come out on today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I will maybe do it on Friday. This the next part of the Last Dance, because tomorrow it's the Naruto one. I said I promised I would do that after this part, so yeah. Yeah, I guess this is the end. And if you want me to continue this, leave a call. Tell me. I'll continue it. It will be a bit more difficult and a bit more like preparations for it, but I can try to do it. But yeah, this was it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this surprise stream, I guess. And if you saw that I was streaming, trying to stream 2 or 3 times before, it's because I tried to do some things, but it didn't work. I was trying to like play a game, but it didn't work. So I tried something else. Kind of fell out of it. I just had to take some time to prepare, do some other stuff. Then this is the final one, I think. Try, so it worked, at least. If you like me doing this kind of stuff, or you want me to continue doing it in video style, because this will be like the part where I try, and if you want me to continue it, I'll continue it. But if you don't want me to continue it, I'll go back to video because it's a bit easier for me and it's a bit more fun, I guess. At least for now. But when I'm gonna maybe get a bit bigger and more people watches my streams about doing this, I'll maybe do this so that you can more talk to me and directly. Yeah, this was what I had for a stream. I'll make the Naruto one tomorrow, and if you want me to do whatever, what if or anything else, put them in comments, and I'll do that. But yeah, this was the end of the stream. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.